We're live, Mr. Wade.
Good night. Good night to our Belizean people, both at home and abroad. Welcome to our 163rd edition of Belizean Affairs on this blessed Wednesday. Uh, there's a lot going on, but tonight, what really is what really is important is for us to, talk about, the hurricane that is a threat, still a threat to Belize. So we are not out of the clear yet, but we'll talk about that because it's very important that we, you know, inform our Belizean people at home of what's going on and for them not to let their guards down. No? So on that note, I want to welcome with us tonight Mr. Leonard Brackett, our right hand man and chairman of the Friday night show, Constitutional Nights on Friday night. And as you all know, my people, we always start our program with a prayer and a reading. And we'll go straight to our prayer, and I'll ask Mr. Leonard Brackett to lead us. And we might be joined also, sorry, by Miss Sharon Pitts, attorney at law, and Mr. Gregory Brackett. Good night again, Leonard. Lead us in prayer, my brother. Thank you. Then a reading. Your mic is off there, my good man. Your mic is off. Yes.
Yeah, I had muted it because I was fiddling with the background
Oh,
with the volume. I didn't want to come up too
yes,
loud.
sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Wade, Chairman for tonight's show. Glad for the privilege to participate on this program along with you and to support you. Um, I'll go ahead and do the prayer, after which I'll do a short reading. I'll bow my head first for a minute. Divine loving Father, thou who art the creator of heaven and earth and all that in them are, into thine hands we commend ourselves, asking thee that thou would have mercy upon us, that thou would continue to guide and bless and protect us, that thou would continue to bless and protect our country of Belize. Please be merciful unto us. Thou knowest our trials and tribulations. Thou knowest the hardships and all the problems that we have to deal with. And thou knowest that we would not like to have an hurricane experience at this moment. Please spare us again as you have done many times in the past. Please bless our country of Belize, its people and its leadership. Please bless this country of the United States, its people and its leadership as well. Please bless the rest of humanity, loving Father. Especially those people who are in places where there is wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, hurricane, earthquake, tornadoes, and all manner of devastation. We pray that thou mayest give those people who have need of food some relief, those who have need of shelter, those who have lost their houses, and even those who have lost their lives. Please be merciful unto them in their spirit and soul as well. For we ask these mercies in Jesus' name. Amen. I'll do the reading as well, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Leonard. Thank you.
I'll read from Proverbs chapter 24, starting at verse 1, which reads as follows. Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them, for their heart studieth destruction, and their lips talk of mischief. True wisdom is a house builded, and by understanding is it is established, and by knowledge shall its chambers be filled with all uh, precious and pleasant tides. A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increaseth strength, for by the wise for by for by wise counsel thou shalt make thy 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 war, and in multitude of con, and in multitude of counselors there is safety. Wisdom is too high for a fool. He openeth not his mouth in the gate. That is the reading for tonight, Mr. Chairman. Thank God for the privilege to participate and to
Thank
hear
you.
part of the Holy Scripture.
Thank
I
you.
yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you, Leonard. You know, my people, we just want to stay in this mindset and stay in this mode, this hurricane preparedness mode, because for a few days now we have been seeing the formation of this hurricane Beryl, and we have seen those of us who are monitoring. We are seeing the path that it they had projected it to make landfall. And from the inception, this is one of the worst June hurricane that have formed so far. The worst that has quickly formed to a hurricane and then all the way to a category 5 hurricane. And as we speak, it has been downgraded. It will not downgraded, but it's to a tropical. I mean, to a hurricane force of
Category 4.
four, category 4, and it had impacted the southern part of Jamaica, as it is still just about leaving the southern part of Jamaica. Um, we have seen Leonard and people at home and abroad. We have seen the projected how they had projected it to make landfall, like directly on Belize. The whole of Belize was covered with that mass, and gradually, we on this show, from it started, we start, asking for people to start, praying, you know, um, asking for forgiveness and asking for us for this country to be saved one more time, and that the next time we will do better. And as from today, we will start turn our lives around and start serving God, right? We pray that you know the Almighty save us for this last time, because Leonard, there was like 6 or 7 times that we have been saved. There were hurricanes destined straight the same way that they predicted to come and hit us, and somewhere along the line before you know that that point it shift in a northerly direction. It have predicted straight west on us, on Belize, straight west. And after that, you see it shifted north. Same thing with this one again, right? So isn't that telling us something? It's telling us something, right? So we need to take heed. Right now they have it uh that it will you have a little feedback there, Leonard. We have a feedback here. It's
It's
telling us that we got to change, and you know, and that we see now that it's gonna make landfall somewhere Friday, late Friday, between Corozal town and Chetumal, right? That is where that is telling that it's gonna make landfall. As for the latest advisory by, I don't do Nemo, but I track it by the hurricane hunters and the weather channel, the weather channel, because they don't go wrong, right? With Nemo, with this um hurricane prediction here, we gotta take heed on that, right? No, not take that for 100%, because they also rely, because they're not sophisticated enough, right? So tune into the weather channel, right? And another station named Kala Weather, right? Those are the two that gives you, up to the minute and precise odds from the hurricane hunters, right? When they go up and they come down, and these people disseminate that information, it's gazetted, right? I'm not letting down our weather service people here, and I'm not saying that, but they also not sophisticated enough to give you, the right information. But all that said, we are
Mr.
not.
Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Or local people also depend on these other international
That's what I'm saying.
organizations,
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Yeah. Thank you. But like I says that, Leonard, that we're not, we can't say we are clear yet, because anything could happen between now and Friday, right? But the way it's looking right now, Belize,
Not.
yeah, Belize have been spared from that blunt hit,
It
that
looks like
blunt.
we are going to get spared.
Not there you go, right? So
I hope we do.
again, my people, like I say, this should be an eye opener. For those of us who had experienced the last hurricane, and trust me, Leonard, there are still people recovering
Mhm.
from that last hurricane, right? So we
Who have
were
never been helped.
praying,
People who have
yes,
never been
Leonard,
helped.
yes, we were praying,
Very sad.
Leonard, that you know, on top of what they are still going through to recover, some with not a penny or a nail from Nemo or from the government of this country, because of politics, right? We pray that it never come to that point that they were loaded on with another hard, catastrophic hurricane again. What would have happened to these poor people, man? That is still recovering, right? So, Leonard, I want to shed some light on what we have experienced so far with, especially this hurricane from the inception, and where we are as of tonight, and let the people know that, for them to still be mindful that anything could happen between tonight and when on Friday, when it is expected to hit landfall. No,
Listen,
anything could happen. So
uh, can
no
I
let down on no
preface?
guard, right?
Can I
Go ahead.
preface my commentary by just
Yes,
going
sir.
back as, for a couple of seconds on
Yes, sir.
the last hurricane that we had,
Yes, sir.
Lisa.
Lisa.
Lisa was a direct hit on us. Unfortunately, it did a lot of damage, but we never lost lives, and the material things could have and should have been replaced by now. Unfortunately, because of, like you said earlier, Mr. Chairman, the hurly-burly and the maliciousness of politics, there still exist in our country some people that have not been helped from Lisa until now. And I'm glad that you mentioned that it
So
would have
true on
been
that,
sad.
Leonard.
It would have been
So true on
sad
that.
had this next hurricane came directly to us as it was coming, or at least as it was pointing initially, and we had gotten hit, that some of these people who had not recovered would have been pushed right back again into a situation of desperation. Thank
So
God,
true on that.
so far, it seems as if we're going to get a little reprieve because after the thing passed on the southern part of Jamaica, it seems like it's tracking a little bit west northwest, which means that it's not coming directly at us again. It's going to go a little higher up, probably to Yucatan, or maybe more likely, as most hurricanes have done, go through the body of water between the top of Yucatan, Mexico, and Cuba, and then end up in the Gulf. Or it might still have a chance of coming close to Yucatan, close enough that Belize may still get some of the water or some of the band of rain around the edges, but the eye proper may travel as hurricanes like to do on the water itself. Hurricanes don't like to hit land, whether flat land or mountains. They like to travel on the water because it's easier for the hurricane to do that, which is why apparently it is tacking a little bit more northwesterly instead of coming direct westerly towards Belize, as was indicated earlier. But as you mentioned, again, Mr. Chairman, I want to emphasize that point as well. People should not take it for granted that we are out of the woods yet, and or that this hurricane could not change directions. Because if anybody remember the will not remember, we the generations that are currently in the country, were not around when 31 hurricane, and some of us may have been around when 61 hurricane had hit. And we can recall, according to what we have found out now with the statistical analysis of the weather investigations, we are now in a position that we can say that some of those hurricanes should not have come directly to Belize, but they should have been going elsewhere. But there's a thing that they call cloud seeding, which has been experimented on for decades and decades and decades. When they do those cloud seeding, it's about tampering with the moisture content of the atmosphere. And they fly around in planes and they let loose a lot of different types of chemicals that causes the water to condense and create stronger storms, and also be able to change the direction of the storms themselves. For example, if you have cold weather up here in the United States, when the warm weather hurricanes they're traveling towards the United States, they meet up with the north, what we call north front, and it slows down the trajectory as well as the strength of the hurricane. But that's not the present case that we have. Currently, we have heat here in the United States and heat in the Gulf, hot water in the Gulf, hot water right now in the rest of the Caribbean there where the hurricane is, all the way to Belize, we country. So nobody should take it for granted and believe that because it looks like we might be spared, that we could just laugh and start dance, Zonkono dance already. It's no time to celebrate. Keep your head up, pay attention. If this thing happens to have some reasons why it might change the direction for whatever reason, whether it's been seeded or whether the pattern that has been changing causes it to go in a different direction, it is coming and getting so close to us now at this point, after having hit Jamaica, that we have to hold on the situation until this thing get out of the area and go into the Gulf, which is really where it's apparently intending to go. So Belizean people, please, we're asking you, pay attention to Nemo, pay attention to the radio stations, pay attention to the TV stations, pay attention to the news, and try to do the best you can in terms of having your food and whatever else you need, the necessities, to be able to survive. If at least we get some of the wider band of the rain, because we recently had a lot of rain in Belize, and all that water hasn't soaked into the ground yet, and most of that water that was going into the rivers, those rivers haven't gotten down to Belize and to the other parts of the ocean yet. So with extra rain, it just means that we end up with a lot more water and a potential for additional flooding on top of what we just recently had. People, be careful. Back to you, Mr. Wade.
Thank you.
I see
Thank
Greg in the background. I'm not sure if he's working on something. He's
yes.
on mute right now, and he's able to bring himself in when
Himself.
he's ready. So
Yes.
we'll just let him, do
Thank
what he
you.
needs to
Thank
do
you,
until he's
Leonard.
ready.
Thank you for that observation, no, and your input. Leonard,
Yeah,
I
thank you.
want to touch a little
Okay,
sticky situation. Now, welcome
Greg is.
there, Greg. Glad to have you, my brother. You want to introduce yourself? We know that you are going to be coming on, but yes, welcome, Greg.
Good
Want
night,
to
Greg.
introduce yourself, my brother? Thank you. Your mic is off, though. Your mic is off. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's always a pleasure to sit with you guys and have great discussion on things that are happening in our country and to be able to share it at home and abroad. I pass it back to you for you to fill me in, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Gregory. A lot of people, Gregory and Leonard, um, know, the problems in our country. They live it. They know that what our leaders should be doing and when they should do it. And they know the ills of our country.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, we are so dormant, and we are so not care. We not care. What I say, we're like, damn, if the hurricane hit Belize, that what shelter are we going? We're going back to that old broken down community center. We know you got one good bathroom, or we know you got good accommodation. Although you not gotta go as a 4-star, 5-star hotel, right? Or you gotta go shelter. But what I'm saying is that I would say, guys, and my people, I might be wrong, and I might be asking for too much. I would say by this time, 2024, we would have some good hurricane shelter over the entire country, because we know that we know that every June to November, we are more likely to be hit with a hurricane. And over the years, the things that happen between June to November, you will say, well, you know what? We will build one good hurricane shelter out of Belize, because, with Belize City is below, we know that below sea limit, right? Below the below sea level, right? We know that. Most Belizeans know that. And I don't know about this generation now. But 2-3 generations back, we know that we are below sea level. And we would know that the politician know that this occur every June to November. And my people, a lot of we know that every time we have one catastrophe, we get money,
Mm-hmm.
we get equipment, we get a lot of donation, and we will get money to build hurricane shelters. Where are these hurricane shelters? Where are they? But we know they got a program like cattle. You know that when hurricane, they Belize it get on water and people run like cattle down west, higher ground to the either family member or friends or some community center or some district, right? Man, these things got to stop. And then one of these community center got one decent bathroom,
Mm.
right? So I would say I think the leaders and the government would know that. Or maybe they don't know, Leonard. I just say maybe they don't know. Right?
They don't
They don't
care.
know.
They
But
don't care.
but I just open mind, my people, because our next hurricane and come. Right? And then you're going back to square one again, because then you have to think where to run to. Who could beg shelter, right? Which one your family member, a house, especially Belize City, right? I'm not talk about along the coast, right? And like I said, for me, it's shame. It's a shame to know that 2024, with all the money spent and given, I'm not ask about Mr. Nemo. Oh, they have the big time meeting. Oh, I bet you have all the big time man with a necktie and all of that sit around on table, and then Mr. Nemo has a emergency meeting, and Mr. This attend, and Mr. That attend, and this and that, and this is the phone number for no call, and that time a routine. And no call these mama, no get help. They rush to no, then come to no aid. But no, the bugle sound with Nemo has his meeting. That's supposed to comfort you. Last hurricane, me comfort you. The one before that, me comfort you. The one before. Man, all I'm saying, man, enough of this, Right? Do the right thing, man. This time, Mr. Government, instead of go spend 175,000 or maybe 275,000 a damn endorsement for a Martinez, right? Man, that money you don't think can be build a hurricane shelter the PG? Huh? When you take the government assets and they march like hell. Everybody in a blue or white, the PG, right?
And the
In a
Guatemalan
time,
flag.
I'm just saying, right?
And the Guatemalan blue and white flag.
You not could like what I say, because I should not have said this, oh, this are the PUP business and this and that, right? No, it's not the PUP business. Who the hell is the PUP? They are our government. We pay them taxpayers' money. You think they should be spending so much damn money on a damn convention or endorsement about this country in a time like this? Huh? Well, I mean, who get one drunkenness and one money for that? I mean, that's fine too. But I'm talking to the government itself, our leaders who they spend these money. Need to stop it, man. When people are in need. I'm talking about a common damn hurricane shelter, right? That is not in this country. Start with that $275,000, man. Won't ever start with that. Take that money and put it. Start bill with it. Not just squander it like that. All in the name of politics. As for me, I don't give a hoot about a damn PUP or a UDP, That's me. Right? I don't give a hoot about them. All I give is the people. Right? The needy people, the people that need these things. Briseno don't need a damn hurricane shelter, or his family, or his ministers. They don't need that. But the people need it. Or even if we still want to use these hurricane shelters in the villages, and it's not hurricane, it's community centers. And some of them, Leonard, don't even have roof. visit the one in Blackman Eddy, right, Mr. Prime Minister? You want to load up? I want to put my cattle in there. I want to put my sheep in there. But that is horrible. That's Mr. Nemo. Mr. Nemo will tell you, go to the hurricane shelter in Blackman Eddy. That's what Mr. Nemo will tell you. Huh? Who talk about these damn things, man? Nobody. Right? Who?
They don't care.
So all I'm saying is that, as for me, I don't care if what they say about me, right? But always, Leonard, the truth always hurts. So they will, when they man that ballet, they talk this boy and they make us try shut up, right? So, but anyway, all I'm saying is that people will start to demand, right? Because God forbid, like I say, on the law, we've been praying for forgiveness, and we've been praying for the Almighty to save us, right? But we might not be that lucky in the next time. Many more hurricanes will come. This is just the start, okay? So start demanding for government instead of squandering the people's money. And Mr. Nemo, right? Do the right thing, right? Instead of being politics in, right? Because a lot of they are political appointed and have to do the bidding of a UDP government or a PUP government, not the bidding of the people, not the needs of the people, because you are all cronies and yes, man. And know what is right to do, know, right? But fail and keep on failing, right? So all I'm advocating for is for when the next one comes, okay? And all these roads where they wash out, right? You are say by now, that may have one better idea how to build a better road, build better roads, because from generation to generation, we see the same pattern. Same thing happen when a hurricane. Same thing happen. All the culverts them from Belize City come all the way down to Belmopan. We don't know. All of them flooded out every time. Right? But what we do? We go on through and leave patch there and leave dig and leave hole there. And I call on the Minister of Infrastructure and all these area representatives around this country. Man, districts and constituency, no wait till when the hurricane come for put people in there for shovel out the crap out of the drain. Okay? Start from as of yesterday, man. Right? I see the flooding in Orange Walk. Same place they flood out, And you know how much billions they spent the last time for the last flood? And they say, oh yeah, with infrastructure, we dig out them drains. Right? Same places they flood up all the time. Right? One to the best thinking and engineers where we have in this country, man. Right? It's common sense, man. If one drain the flood all the time and all they do a stick it out all the time, know that need to do something different. Right? Because that sticking out, not the clearing out, not the work. Put the damn thing higher or dig some deep drains, canals. I don't know an engineer, I don't know nobody, I don't know expert for hurricane, I don't know, I am not nobody. But I see these things. So if I nobody to see it, why the hell you intellect, these engineers can see wastefulness of the Belizean money and all the grants and donations to this country. Back right to you, Leonard. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the difference is that they have the power of governance, the resource, everything that it will take for them to do what you are mentioning. You don't have those resources or that power of governance, but you care, which is why you are advocating on behalf of the people and the country. These jackals don't care. That's the difference. If they cared, they'll do better with what they have and try to get more and do more. That's the basic difference. And the problem is they are the one that the people entrust with that power of governance. So the least thing could do in gratitude for the people's then trust in them is to do the best that they can. Now we're not asking them to do anything that is impossible or anything that is a miracle. Because if they can't do the simple basic things then, how the devils then end up to do a miracle? So it would be far from us to hope that they'll do a miracle or haggle with them about not doing miracles. All we're asking for, do the best they can. But they can't do the best they can if they give Ashcroft all the money. Therefore, they don't have no money to build the hurricane shelters, as you said, Mr. Wade. How much hurricane shelters all over that country could have been built with the $1.5 billion that went into Mr. Ashcroft's pocket and his organization? Imagine they put $10 million to each hurricane shelter, right? A structure that is at least three stories high, or even 4 stories high, but that have small amount of windows at the first 2 levels, and the windows at the top level are like the kind of windows that you'd put in skyscrapers in buildings abroad. The material is expensive. The bulletproof glass or shatterproof glass is expensive. But those are the kind of expense that you make in public interest and well-being and safety. We know we're living in Hurricane Alley, so you plan for it. So if they put, let's say, $10 million for a hurricane shelter in each district, how much district we have, Mr. Wade? 6 districts. There's $60 million out of the $1.5 billion for them give. Let's say they put $100 million aside. Not the 60, 100. So they could equip those facilities, or that they could have enough toilets built in them, because I know when a lot of people go in there, you will have a lot of needs for toilets and So the facilities, they could be used as school building during the rest of the year when there's no emergency. Or it could be used for any other purpose. But I'm just saying, right? They don't have to take all the money when they give Mr. Ashcroft and build buildings with it, which they could have just as well done had they not gotten entangled with Mr. Ashcroft in all the devious activities that they do. But let's say they have gotten already entangled with the man, so they have to provide some payment to the man for all the money where they owe, whether it's government money that they owe, from where they borrow from the man's bank, or whether it's personal party money where he financed them political campaign with, that he want back. Get the man half then, and use half to do the people's job. Pay Mr. Ashcroft for a longer period of time and get us additional benefits, because they always give the man all kind of benefits. Right now, they build the hotel place, where they build where they expand, they give one concession for me don't know how many years, tax free, so you could end up to build that stuff. The convention place where they build. That are part of the extras when they get, besides the hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars when they get as the final settlement for all outstanding accounts. Remember what we talked about? It wasn't just the money when they give the man. They gave him a lot of other options to make more money over a long period of concessions. All we're saying, don't stop paying the man. Just pay the man on an easier schedule that allows the government to have some of the extra money available to it to do the people's business. That's all I'm saying. I don't criticize them only for paying the man, I criticize them for malmanagement. They don't manage the people's affairs adequately. But when I criticize them for mismanagement or malmanagement, they want to get hot under the collar. They want to use bogus law to try and trap people, as they did with the law when I met the other day at the house, that was not constitutional, and then the commissioner entrapped one family member under the law, when in fact they are violating the man's constitutional rights to communicate, especially on issues that are public issues that they themselves had already commented on. So they want to take the bogus law and experiment with somebody that doesn't have the means to fight back the deep pocket of the government. Victimize the man, collect the man, came out of jail, when the man has committed no crime. He has violated no constitutional rules or regulations. And the substantive laws that they made as a violation to the Constitution, they should be the one to go to jail. They are the gross violators, like you always say, Mr. Wayne, of our Constitution. But they want power play other civilians with finance shenanigans.
Yeah.
Just by virtue of making those laws, they should suffer some consequence for making illegal laws and putting them on a book and using them against people.
Yeah, thank you.
They should be able to suffer some consequence for that. But the consequence that malignant government like that suffers is when the people get enough and they start to take the law into their hand. So they are the very same one that are talking about wanting to use the law, bastardizing our Constitution and the laws that they make, criminalizing the civilians, when they themselves are the one committing the crimes in the country and helping the criminals them in the country to run roughshod over the country. Because the police force not go out there and collect. Wait. Didn't Mr. Chester send and grab his brother there a day or two ago? Did he send and grab any of the people now where they hire young guys in Belize to go out there or commit the mayhem on the street? Does he even arrest the one when they commit the mayhem? And do they even prosecute them? Or do they even have a track record of successful prosecution? I mean, I could go on and on and on. Mal-management, mal-government, mal-administration. They want to carry me to court to tell them about themselves? Let's go. There's an extradition treaty. I'm not in Belize right now. I'm out here. But there's an extradition treaty between the United States and Belize. So if they really feel like they could handle the heat, let's go. They don't have to ask the US to get them an extradition. I have offered more than one time to make myself available so that some of these matters can be taken up in the court. But they're not interested in that either. Their interest would be for me to be in Belize available for that purpose that I'm proposing, but for them to have their henchmen play other activities. And I've already said to them in more than one instance, anytime they go down the road, there will be consequence to be had. Whether they believe so or not, I'll have to do an experiment. Try it out.
Thank you, Leonard. Thank you for speaking truth and speaking your mind. It's always good to speak your mind, right? And call a spade, and don't hide behind any curtain. Don't throw any rocks and hide and say you didn't throw the rock. If I throw the rock, I got no problem and tell you, well, you know that me throw the rock. Thank you for standing up. Greg, back to you, my brother. Let us hear what you got to say about this situation that we are in right now.
I sat on the side and listened to what my good cousin said about the unconstitutional laws that they are making. But see, when we sit here and we mention it and we flag them, they turn around and take their about turn. and then they try to play the silly game as though what they set out to do was not what they were trying to do, you know? But as I said, they always tell on themselves
Mm.
because you know what? Let's listen to it.
It is in absolutely no way any attempt to try to muzzle the freedom of the press. It is instead aimed at protecting witnesses. And so, as we move forward with a first draft of this legislation, the media, members of the media, yourselves, will be consulted. We will have a very wide consultation process to receive your input, because even when I sat down with the media in the first instance, a few of you were there was a recognition by members of the press that certain cases in which witnesses say, you know what, I don't want to be identified as the individual who made a statement. I don't want to be identified as the individual who shared critical video footage because it may have come from my house. Those individuals deserve protection. And so there's a balance that we have to strike. And I think that moving forward, that is the direction that we're going, that if certain individuals, when they attend the police station to give information or to give a statement, they require protection, then in my opinion, those individuals deserve to be protected.
Talk, see
Mr.
it.
Chairman,
Talk,
when you
talk,
get
see it.
flagged, you turn around and go home with your flagging. Witness protection is indifferent to what he was trying to do because witness protection is something simply done in the court by the judge who orders protection for certain individuals. But you see, he tried to jump the gun.
Scoundrel.
And because we were calling it out, and he was being put to the test by Section 12.1 of the Constitution. So now he's holding back the rein and try to come with a new version talking about protection for witness. Man, you could have simply said that we are going to come out with a law to protect witness. Look how long they've been calling for witness protection before they even passed the law to protect judges and teachers, and that has been
Politician,
Exactly.
called
Exactly.
politician,
for quite a
protect
long
politician.
time, sir. I turn it over to you.
Mr.
Thank
Chairman,
you.
Mr.
Thank
Chairman.
you. Well, let me just say this real
Uh,
quickly. Thank you there. And thank you very much, Gregory, for opening up the eyes and giving them a refresher. Didn't they were talking about witness protection law 10, 15 years ago?
mm-hmm.
This is not about witness protection, my people. This is not about witness protection. And remember that laws they passed and they mentioned the teacher, they mentioned the policeman, and mentioned public servants, and they mentioned this, and finally put way up on the end, and us politicians. This
That's what
is
the power
just
of it.
another one of those. Anyway, go ahead, Leonard. Go ahead. Go ahead. Please.
Mr.
What's
Chairman,
wrong with these?
thank you for playing that clip, Greg.
Huh?
Thank you for playing that clip, Greg. Mr. Chairman, thank you
Yeah.
for the opportunity that you have given me to expound a little bit. What these people, in fact, I shouldn't generalize. I like to go directly and call names because then at least they know exactly where to talk about and who to talk about. Okay? When I just generalize and say these people or these
That
guys
will
or
all
these
be in
men
the
or
new
these whatever,
constitution.
huh?
When we
Uh-huh.
become a republic, that will all be in the new constitution. New
Hold on.
constitution. Go ahead.
We have to
Sorry
wait.
about that. Sorry about
We
that.
have to wait till
I just
then. No. We
I
have to
didn't
wait
say
till
that.
then.
You go ahead.
We have to wait till then to make we get it in the new constitution so we could make use of it, right? Or defend yourself with it. But these guys will never make a constitution that gives the people any rights to hold them to account. That is not who and what they're about. The bottom line or the truth of the matter is every time they get caught doing something wrong, then jump and pretend that there's something else they may think about or talk about or want to do.
Exactly what
Which,
Greg said.
which is true, you know. It's never what they are saying to you at any given time, it's what really behind the back of their head and an ultimate agenda or intent. It's been proven time and again, over and over and over. Their action speaks louder than the words that they're uttering out of their mouth. The words they utter out of their mouth is a matter of convenience to sound good, to rational and wise thinking people. But their actions, when they go to the house and write the bill, the lot of craziness that they put in the bill that violates the Constitution and the rights of the people, they're not concerned about correcting or making sure it's done right. So that tells you their intent. It's not because they don't know. I keep saying most of these guys are lawyers. And they're not dusty liars, they're slick. They know exactly what they want, they know exactly how they're trying to do it, and they know exactly what the outcome that they're looking for, and how they're going to bamboozle the people into accepting the craziness as being good enough until when it hurt the people, then the people start clamor, then they turn around and say, well, it's the law of the land. They hide behind the phrase about it's the law. Don't create crazy on unconstitutional laws that the Constitution say are null and void and have people getting hurt by it. Whether they take people to jail like they did, like I said earlier, that Mr. Chester gone and collect his one brother, right? And have the man in a jail. They go through all kind of pressures and problems because he dared to open his mouth and exercise his constitutional right to speak to a public issue that was already being spoken to by Mr. Chester, by the minister, by the prime minister, and others. But because he dared to communicate that same information to a wider public, they wanted to stay hush-hush so they will intimidate him and everybody else that lines up. The crazy minister, the last tape that was played in one of the previous shows, said that if anybody goes on the internet and just push the button to say share some information that is critical of them or disparage them, that person is entitled to get 10 years in jail. Where is crazy that's coming from? Is that what we gave them power of governance to turn around and do to us? To try and deprive us of our right to speak to each other? As I said, the man is a lawyer. How many times have we not spoken and read those very same points in the Constitution that relates to that matter? And they don't have to hear it from us. As part of the curricula of their legal studies, when they come before they get assented to become or called as being members of the bar, they must understand and know the Constitution under which they are operating in order for them to be good defense lawyers on behalf of their client. So it's not like they don't know, as I keep saying. They damn well know what they're doing. They just chance it. Okay?
Thank you.
And they need to be brought to account.
Thank you, Leonard.
Welcome,
Go
Mr.
ahead,
Chairman.
Greg. You have the floor. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now, I want to go to this hurricane that is out there
Thank you.
that will affect a portion of the day. What I would like to say about it is this, right? I heard the discussion that you said, Mr. Chairman, about Belize not having adequate hurricane shelters in the district. And just by me listening to what you say, I would say to you, I would not even go there because we are dealing with a government who cannot do anything with its external policy, including its internal policy, which is the role that government should play. The simple policy of bringing about peace and harmony in the community. Now, about the hurricane shelters, if these people can take millions of dollars to try to change the constitution, then why couldn't they take the money and put in hurricane shelter when nothing is wrong with our constitution? If this government can take taxpayers' money to pay off the Port of Belize debt in full, why can't taxpayers' money be used for hurricane shelter? And I will go buy the hurricane shelter because there are other more important things than those shelters which comes every year for a certain period. They are failing in the hospital when it comes to medical care for people.
Mhm.
It took them years to get one CT scan. They are failing by not having adequate fire truck. When fire comes about, the truck show up to the fire with no water or can't pump the water. They can't even buy a fleet of ambulance to help the people.
Mhm.
There are some cases where people complain that the ambulance don't want to take them if they can't pay $120 bill. Now imagine,
Sad.
they are failing so miserable. Now imagine, they can get up there and say and talk about the renovation of the court building, but I haven't heard them talk about the 500,000 money from Social Security that the people's money that helped to bring about that. They make it seem as though the money came from our government, so the 500,000 did not matter.
But they can't give people a settlement for
Past
Social
and
Security.
present government are failing at everything. Let's talk about the creation of long-term jobs. Who in the ministry or labor department can get on national TV and point out to the Belizean people at home and abroad any jobs that their government have created for long term? There is absolutely none. The present government is relying on the BPOs and I believe is trying to call those long-term jobs. He even wanted to get rid of the IT vet and using for training ground to support the BPOs. So we have to look at the policies and what these governments do. Because as you rightfully said, Mr. Wade, the government can get with private sector and create jobs and the government can create long-term jobs because we need the drainage system to be clean always. But every time we are having this issue And the only time they want to publicize is when weather is coming about in the hurricane season. Then they want to make these little commercials. We have guys up north clearing to make sure everything is clear when the weather comes. We have guys over here digging the drains and making sure there is no blockage. Why you want to do that and you are not doing this on a regular basis as it should be done? Likewise, I'm not hearing anything about the pumps that they install over there in the Yabra section, like the new bridge that they built and placed plywood instead of the right stuff. As I understand, the pump might not even be working and we're in hurricane season. The pump that I believe cost $11 million. Imagine to pump water from out of the city during this hurricane season.
I think, Greg, not
It's
to cut you across, they had
unbelievable.
installed it, but back way, I think they had put it the reverse way. I think they had installed it, upside down, or instead of pumping in, pumping out,
But Mr. Chairman and
or pumping
Gregory,
out is pumping in, something like that. Right? I mean,
that
installation
is
was
a
wrong, that,
machinery.
Mr. Greg.
I had
That's what
gone
I.
on my last
But
trip to Belize. I was observing how they were doing the work, and to me, from what I know of engineering and cost accounting in terms of procurement of equipment and things like those for $1 billion projects that I have worked on, I look on that piece of a job that they did there, and I could tell you that never cost no 11 or 12 or $13 million. I could tell you that for sure. I designed software that does cost accounting and financial management. So I'm not green behind my ears when I say something like that. I know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay? By experience, by knowledge. That particular project did not cost them no 12 to $13 million. Maybe a little bit over half of that if they may have to pay some more leader to somebody. But the rest of the money, I don't know what they did with it or where it gone. Because the equipment
typical,
probably cost,
typical.
the equipment that they use there, the equipment that they use, and the little um, um, pump house that they built over the canal should not have cost them. The equipment could have cost. I'm not saying it did, I say the equipment could have cost them at least between $3 to $4 million, and the construction work to install it in place, as well as the little um, pump station thing that they had there, another $1.5 million at the most.
Fleecing
I'm
as well,
saying to
like
you,
every other
I'm
else
saying to you
thing,
that
everything
six
else,
to $7 million should have been the max that project
fleecing.
should have cost. The contractor could have got at least $1 million profit off of that and be
Thank
happy
you.
if he had
Thank
done
you.
a good enough job.
Go ahead, continue, Greg. Yeah, go. Yeah, yeah. That's so true on that. Go ahead,
And
continue
as
there,
I
Greg.
was saying, Mr. Chairman, they always telling themselves. I'm wondering as we speak, when are they going to publicize the proclamation signed by the Governor Jane that is supposed to cover the state of emergency that I still cannot find on the government website? I am asking, I have posted on Facebook because I want to see what was inside the proclamation. But I believe that because the last one we tore it apart, they do not want to come with one.
Uh,
Go ahead,
Gregory,
sir.
you remember on a previous, not the last SOE, on a previous SOE before that one,
Before the last one.
uh-huh,
Okay.
when the signature of the Governor General was placed at the wrong location on the document, and I had pointed out that there was a technical error there. We found out that in effect what had happened is that the Governor General, according to them, had signed off an SOE for them to implement, and that they would then fill in the blanks or the difference in terms of the protocols or procedures or violation. In other words, they get an ascension for
So they
something
get a blank check. They got a blank check. Blank check.
which is contrary to good governance and proper procedures. Okay? That's why I said more than one occasion, and I wrote that particular article, that the Deputy Governor General should not be the Secretary of the Cabinet, so that that Deputy Governor General can act in the capacity of Governor General and do Cabinet favors and sign off stuff for them that no go so. They need to get them act together, but they won't, because it serves their convenience the way it is right now. Because the intention is
Mr.
not to
Brackett,
fulfill
if
the
I may,
obligation or follow the Constitution.
Go ahead, Greg.
Sir. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Mr. Brackett, if I may,
Go ahead, sir.
even with what you are saying, it is still a clear violation
Mhm.
of the Constitution under Section 18(2), because the government press office should announce when the DG is
It's
out
out
of the country
or
or
out of
when
commission.
she is not. Exactly. That is
She could be in the
something
country and she's
that
infirmed or
must
something happened,
be
or maybe she have
done
a sickness or flu or something, and she can't be present or
right.
available to, you know. But then again, the Governor General should only give a writ to the Deputy Governor General to act in the capacity as Deputy Governor General on behalf of the Governor General in dire cases, not willy-nilly. The Deputy Governor General just can't arbitrarily one day get up and say, okay, well, the Governor General is sick today and therefore I will just step in and sign something on her behalf. He has to be given a writ, a General's authority, authorization, or a writ for him to do so.
But it
And in that
goes
writ, it
beyond
tells him
that, sir.
what powers he's able to exercise, not willy-nilly all powers. So these
It
are
goes
technical
beyond
and
that.
constitutional issues that these guys supposed to know, and I believe that they know, but they care not. They don't care. They're arbitrary and capricious in their conduct, and their malignant behavior is showing up. And when we question these things or we point out these things to them, and we catch them in their wrongdoing, and we pull the Constitution over their face to make them see, their own Constitution, they see in oneself how dastardly they are, they become offended. They feel offended. Because nobody should be able to do that or should try and do that. They should be allowed to violate the Constitution willy-nilly.
But
And we have already told them on more than one occasion. Going forward, it's not going to be like it used to be before. We will hang the Constitution around their neck, demanding compliance thereof. Whether they do so or not is not the issue. The issue is that they will be brought to account in a public way in terms of their conniving and misbehavior.
Thank you.
They still hold the powers of governance. They
Thank
could
you.
still
Go ahead.
arbitrarily and
Go ahead.
capriciously do what they
Yeah,
want.
go
it
ahead,
goes
Greg.
beyond that. It goes beyond that, Mr. Brackett, because I believe I heard the Prime Minister said when they went to extend the time in the House, when they were asking for 2 more months, I believe I heard him say that the Governor General has already signed the first declaration, and SOE is not based on declaration. It is based on proclamation under Section 18(2) of the Constitution. So when you are talking about a declaration and you say she signed that, then where is it? because
But
it
the man is
needs
talking
to be
out of his side pocket because he don't really understand and know what the hell he's talking about in the first place. He's getting caught in his own words because he's not speaking to facts. And he feels like he's bamboozling adequately just about any and everybody out there, in the public.
Go ahead, Greg.
then I would say this is what bring that this is what will bring us back to. You remember when they came up with the PCC Act also have a referendum act? The
Right?
blatant disrespect when they amended the referendum two times, one from the church, one from Oceana. You
Mm-hmm.
remember how I point out Section 22 of Section 5 of the
5. Uh-huh.
PCC Act
Mm-hmm.
when I said it seems to me I believe that the Governor Jen is giving these guys power for them to call a referendum if they want to. And I specify if she's doing that, then she needs to be recalled because she cannot, I
She
said, a
serves at the
state
pleasure of the head of state. She doesn't serve at the pleasure of the
right.
prime minister.
But not only that, national security per the Constitution and the Referendum Act is in the hands of the people of Belize, not the elected individual who we elect to run the
Exactly.
country. And I
They are
would
just
like to
mandated to
state
implement.
now and here so the people can understand. When we say government, the government is the people, not the elected people, because we can recall them
They
through
are just
referendum.
caretakers.
It,
They are just caretakers on behalf of the people.
exactly.
And they get to become the
I,
caretakers by virtue of the people authorizing them at the general election. But that authority is not theirs personally to do as they wish. That authority comes with strings. That is that whatever they are going to use that authority to do should be in the interest, in the best interest and well-being of the people and country, not for their own personal um, purposes. But they can declare that they're going to just take the governance power that we invest in them and do what they want and to hell with us, which is why I volunteered myself, you know, to have some of these matters go to court. But instead of having these matters go to court, they will not want to because they know they don't have a leg to stand on. While in the meantime, they are using the police force to brutalize basic civilians and to terrorize and intimidate the civilians instead of using the police force to go and collect the vandals and the criminals. So now the criminals are turning around and going after them. And they want us to be dropping tears on their behalf? Crap. Out with that. I don't have a tear
So,
to drop for none of them.
yeah, thank you.
If they were doing their job,
Guys,
they wouldn't find themselves in that situation.
thank you for pointing out all these shortcomings, and I just hope that the people at home, especially who are living this whole
Nightmare.
scenario that we're talking about,
It's a nightmare.
right? I just hope that you know you take something out of what we are saying, right? And I just hope that your eyes will be open, right? And stop whatever you have been doing for decades in terms of facilitating corruption, facilitating a rogue government, facilitating a rogue representative, facilitating the fleecing,
For a plate
facilitating.
for a plate of food, Mr. Wade,
So when you do these things, when you take a
and a
little
cup of
from these
beer.
guys, you are telling them, man, it's okay, you could go ahead and do it, thank you. Right? Yeah, right, and my mouth shut, or may I close, I know see where you do. Right? All these things that they continue to do to us. Like we're talking about now a nation that was in a that part of a direct hit of a hurricane, right? What would have happened, right? If the good Lord would have said, well, you know what? I think it's time for Belize to suffer some carnage, because of the evil that they do, because of all the bad things that they are doing, all the injustice. If they need a little waking up, so let me shake them up a little like what happened in 1931, right? Let us give them a little remembrance, right? So I beg of you, my people, to take heed, man, right? And I beg of this government, this evilness that you guys cast on our people, right? Continue to try to throw salt in their eyes. You're so wrong, man. You're a bunch of criminals. Stop throwing salt in the poor people's eyes. When I say that, throw salt, give them a little something to shut them up, right? Stop doing that, man, so that you can continue your corruption, your carnage. Because it's only one set of people in this country that is doing these kinds of things. As I speak, these ministers right now and these PUP and UDP guys, they are already training their sons and their daughters to carry on the carnage. You think they want any other outside entity to come and take over and push them aside? No, they don't want that. You think the Musas, I call name, would want anybody else to come and push that name Musas aside? You think that anyone else, you think the expats want anyone else to come and push that name aside? Dean Barrow, the Barrow, you think they want anyone else to come and push that name Barrow aside? No. That's a high stake for them. So what they do, they continue to throw the salt in people because they have the money. And it's not their money, money that they have embezzled over the years, over the centuries, right? Our own money. Things that belongs to us, the Belizean people.
The salary that they get, Mr. Chairman, would not afford them the lifestyle that they currently live and the millions that they currently have.
So who talks about these things? And who want to bring these things? I talk because, it's time, man. It's time to people stop to see these people as gods or whatever they do is okay. No, it's not okay. I don't give a heck. I heck who he is or she is. If you're a damn scoundrel, you're a damn scoundrel. Right? What am I going to pretty that up for? Is that going to make me better? Or if I had an upset stomach, you think that was going to settle my upset stomach? Hell no. So, I say, I don't know no export. I don't know nobody. All I'm saying is that these people could do better with the resources they have. And it's not their resources, right? It's not their money. It's not a... You see, I hate when people say, oh, my minister do this. My minister do that. Man, stop on a fool, man. You don't need to stop that. You think Belizean will take so much $100,000 out of him bank and do for this country, do for you? You damn crazy. You would never do such a thing. Think Dean Barrow would do that? You think Sharon Barrow would do that? You think anyone of this country will do that? It's your money, man. All I'm saying is that, let's tell them that, you know what? We need, to do better. And we need to put the money where it should go, in the hospitals, in providing jobs, in making sure that we have the adequate shelters so when the hurricane come again, because we are so tired have to run both the damn place. Find out Belizean when do that, you find out none of them jackals will do that. They run and no, because they have their own secure bunkers and well equipped with the wine, the whiskey, man, come on. When they got you, they walk in a mud and water. When they want to leave dirty house with built with cardboard. I mean, talk the truth, you know. Wash away. You think they give a hoot about that? Right? They don't. Better could be done. Right? So all I'm saying is that, you know, there are lots of people in this country in need. In need. No, suppose so. Sure, I mean, no, they are in need. Right? When these leaders, past and present, squander our money, right? Give it away like it's nothing. Like, for instance, give it, like you mentioned, give it to Ashcroft. You think that damn man deserves any more of our taxpayers' dollars, man? No, man. They should try to put them people in a leak cardboard box of Belize. When the high tide come up and the back cardboard get wet up. These are the people that well deserve, not Ashcroft. Right?
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Ashcroft is supposed to get another $25 million every year for the next 5 years in a row, in addition to anything else that he's getting, such as
Of course.
the port where they try to develop down in Stan Creek area there,
And
a whole lot of other things, okay?
and Leonard and
So the
Gregory.
government can't come up with money to do the job.
And Leonard and Gregory, right? We have said this before. We know this is not the last lawsuit, right? This is not the last one that they will take. They're not the People's United Party that court, you know, or you know they are taking the people, the poor taxpayers of this country. We are the ones that they are taking to court. We don't get that yet, right? We don't understand that yet. They're not the PUP. Oh yeah, the PUP and pay. No, hell no. That will not come out of Briseno pocket or Dean Barrow pocket or Shine Barrow pocket. Come on, man. So all I'm saying is that, you know, I call on the nation, you know, to start to demand what you rightfully deserve. And I call on the governing body, the PUP party that is the government of the day, right? You know, have a heart and start to do the right thing. And I call on them to start building hurricane shelters that people could go, that is adequate, that have bathroom, that when they want to use the bathroom, they have somewhere to go, right? And do the right thing instead of just one time. Oh yeah, we just painted the hurricane shelter in the village, right? The damn hurricane shelter don't need no paint. We need a new adequate hurricane shelter with the proper utilities, proper bathroom, without the damn ceiling dropping in. I could take them across this country and show them what I'm talking about if they don't believe. Because they say, oh yeah, I'm Ali Balay talk foolishness. I could carry them that the villages and show them the what they call hurricane shelter for the people. I could show them where I wouldn't even put the kettle in there. Like I said before. And it's truth, man, because Leonard, I could take them, like I said, right there in Unitedville. Right? The damn tops is dropping in, windows are broken down, what they call a hurricane shelter. So, you know, I like to say this, you know, give thanks and praise to the Almighty that he saved this country again, and he shifted the destruction that was coming straight headed to this country, and he gave us a second chance. And I hope that the leaders take heed and take this opportunity and do right for the next one that is going to come, right? And serve the people well and do right by the people.
Mr.
Right?
Chairman,
Go ahead,
just
Leonard.
a small comment. Just a small
Go ahead.
comment on the same topic that you're on.
Yes, sir.
Why is it that the government can't find the resources or the heart or the willingness,
Yes, sir.
the good faith on behalf of the people in those villages? Why can't the government repair those facilities knowing that hurricanes will come?
That's my point. June to November, that's not going away, Leonard. And hurricane
That's part of
have
the
been
responsibility.
threatening this country for decades now. 2024, we don't have a adequate hurricane shelter in this country. You know that, and I know that. Gregory know that.
For multi-purpose facilities, you know.
It could be done the right way, Leonard. You know that. Could be done the right way.
Ah.
When the hurricane, when it's not from June to November, use it for another purpose,
Mm-hmm.
right? You understand what I'm saying? But like I say, these guys here, um, they don't want to do the right thing, and they will never do the right thing, right? Because we see it over the years. Because we say if they were going to do it, Leonard, they would have done it long time ago, right? If they were going to do it,
And each of
it,
these
it would
area
have been done a
representatives,
long time ago.
each
So
of
they
these
have
area
no
representatives,
intention.
division could be
That's the
building a
money.
hurricane shelter.
That's what I'm saying, man. If these guys could get
Mr.
every year,
Chairman,
guys, every year for Christmas share, $20,000 just give away with no accountability, and that's every year, taxpayers' money, and say, hold on, Mr. Representative, say $20,000, yeah, do whatever you want to do with it, right? No accountability. When you have people suffering, can't even buy raiment.
They
It's a damn
currently do that.
shame, man.
They currently do that.
Mr. Chairman, if I
The
may,
Go
government get
ahead.
a
Go ahead,
subvention.
Greg.
Mr. Brackett,
Yes, sir.
can you go to section 18 2 of the Constitution for me real quick?
Uh-huh.
It's
Section
important.
18.
Yeah,
Section 18.
I'm at 19 right now.
Go
I'm
to
going to
18.
18 right now. 18 2, you said?
2. 2, right, Greg?
18 1. Okay.
19
18
2.
2.
Section
Yeah.
18 1.
Oh,
Section
18 1.
18
I
1.
mean, sorry, 18.
Let me turn it sideways just a minute. I got it already. 18 1 says, in this part, period
No,
of
I
public.
want you to read C for me. Section
C.
18 1 C.
C. Okay.
Yeah, C.
But before reading C, you have to read
18 C.
Just
18 1
read
It
C.
goes together.
section 18 1 C.
18 1 and C.
Yeah. 18 1
Just
C.
read section C of
C.
18 1.
Okay.
I want to show you something,
Uh,
the
uh,
people
uh,
at home and abroad.
Paragraph C reads as follows. There is in force a resolution of the National Assembly declaring that democratic institutions in Belize are threatened by subversion. Like I said before, there is a need for context to be able to read 18.1 so it can, the general public, you and I know what they're talking about, Greg. But
You know why I'm having you read this?
Uh-huh.
Go ahead, Greg.
Because I want to express this to the people. Okay?
Go
Now,
ahead.
before I let you pull that, can you go to section 6 for me? I want to show you what is happening here. When a state of emergency was passed on the 25th of June,
Uh-huh.
the government had to wait until it was about to expire before they can go to extend it. They never waited, and they came up with this 90 days. It's totally unconstitutional. Under section
They,
18 1
they,
C,
uh-huh. They cannot
it can only
they cannot
last
do
for
more than
2
30
months.
days at a time.
Yeah, but they have
Greg,
it 90
constitutionally.
days instead of
Yeah, that's why
Read
yeah.
Greg is
number 6
correct. The
for
point that he
me.
observed is correct. They cannot, okay, when a state of emergency is declared, if it's done properly and there's the
If
criteria is met, it's valid for 30 days
for 30 days,
only.
yeah.
They
Exactly.
can
Go
continue
back
going back
for
every
another
30 days
30.
after that
Yeah.
up to 12 months.
Yeah, for another 30 days. Yeah, that's
Right.
They cannot go
But
back
they're not
what
doing
I'm
that.
for
saying,
90 days like these clones was talking about.
you
Yeah, they're
cannot
not
go
doing that.
90 days straight. You
Exactly.
cannot go 90.
Exactly.
Read section 6.8.
Well, the Prime Minister said that. They went straight to 90 days.
Section 6
right?
deals with the equality of persons.
Let
Is that
me
what you want
read
me to
it.
read?
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Let me
Go
read
ahead,
section 6.
Greg.
6-1.
A
Go ahead.
resolution of the National Assembly passed for the purpose of subsection 1C of this section
Greg,
shall
Greg,
remain in force for 2 months or such shorter period as may be specified therein. It can only last for 2 months on a resolution under section 1C. So when they are going 90 days straight, unconstitutional.
This is
They should have
unconstitutional,
waited
right? You
until
know.
it was nearly over.
But
They
like
had
I've
to
been
wait
telling you
for the
guys,
30 days.
these guys, they don't care about the Constitution. You see how they you know, it's a clear indication what these guys want to do with our Constitution.
they have no
Clear
regards or
indication,
respect for it.
right? You know, we see constantly how they keep bastardizing our Constitution. We see it, right? And then okay, and
Under
then
this
tell on
one,
themselves because this
under
guy
this,
says they went to 90 days. You said it is clearly, right? He says they went paying pass the state of emergency for 90 days without going through its due process. So what that is telling you, then guys not care. They don't even care if you care in a court because they're a God.
let me read it as it's stated here in the Constitution. Under section 18, subsection 5, and section C. A proclamation made by the Governor General for the purposes of and in accordance with this section for a public emergency. C says may be revoked at any time by a resolution of the National Assembly. Shall, paragraph A, shall unless previously revoked remain in force for a period not exceeding 1 month. What the hell did they
Not
get to 90
exceeding,
days?
you see, not exceeding 1 month. 30 days. Not
90
exceeding.
days far exceed 30 days by
Far
3
exceed
times.
30. 90 days
How
is
the hell
90
did they
days.
get to 90 days?
That's what I'm saying.
Mr. Chester, Mr. Prime Minister,
So
and Mr. Minister of Police, aren't they doing their homework? The Prime
guys,
Minister is not a lawyer, so I could forgive him. Chester is a lawyer, as well as Commissioner of Police. His boss, the Minister of Police, Mr. Karim Musa, is a lawyer, an experienced lawyer at that. How the hell did they get from 30 days
I just hope that the people
with a
of this
bogus,
nation,
okay, 30 days with a bogus
they take
SOE,
heed,
to turn it into a 90 days
That is
SOE?
why
And it's
we
not the
will
first time,
not
guys.
see
Just
a
know any better
proclamation.
or know anyways otherwise.
God, they know that
That is
they
why
violate. They know that then they violate the
that is
Constitution.
why we will
Like you
not
said,
see
Leonard,
that signed by
guys.
Mhm.
Anyway, like I say, we out of time.
We could take another 5 minutes,
You want
Mr.
to take another
We
5
just want to
minutes?
close it
Okay.
off clean, no?
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Wade?
Yes,
We
sir.
could take another 5 minutes so we could close it off clean, no? So
Okay,
not
sir.
complicate.
So
Go ahead, Greg.
it's
Finish what you
good
were
to.
saying, Greg.
You were saying something, Greg. Go ahead.
No, I was saying that is why we will not see a proclamation signed by the DG. They will not publish it because they know
They
it's
Exactly.
violated the Constitution.
Exactly.
unconstitutional. You couldn't have a
Exactly.
30 days and go for 60 more days. You had to wait it until it was coming to the end. Then you go to the House
Then
to
you
pass the
exactly.
resolution,
Exactly.
and
They
then
could have
you
only
get the
gone for
2
30
months.
days more. And they just
No,
Well, I
can't.
just
under
hope
one
that
C, under one C, by a resolution in the House, they could have got the 2 months. but you
No,
cannot add
No.
2 months.
No,
Greg,
it
Read
Greg,
says you
they
section
cannot
can't
6.
go for
exceed.
2 months.
No, you cannot exceed 30 days. That's what it's
Exactly.
telling you. You
That's the
cannot
point.
exceed. That means you cannot go over 30 days.
Okay,
Right?
They can
listen
go
to
back
So
me.
as
where
often as they
how they
want.
get where to 90
Section,
days? How they
Greg,
get where that
section
once they have the first SOE established legally, constitutionally,
is
they have the power to go to the House and have the House to make a declaration
that's
that there's a
legally?
need for more
Nothing is
time.
done legally.
And they get another 30 days extended.
Yeah.
No.
And after that, if they want, they
Under
can get another 30 days
subsection 6.
extended, and another 30, and another
Under
30, up to a year.
subsection 6. Let me read what it says. Why I'm saying what I'm saying. A resolution of the National Assembly passed for the purpose of subsection 1C of this section shall remain in force for 2 months or such short period as may be specified therein. Okay? Section 1
Such
3
shorter
says,
period. Such shorter period.
right,
Which is not a violation of
but
what was said above in section
18.1,
C. That is, you cannot go beyond 30 days.
Yeah.
So they can go and get 30
Exactly.
days at a time up to a whole year. But they're
Yeah.
inflating and conflating to say that if they can take a whole year, they just as well could take 90 days. That's not what the
Anyway, guys,
Constitution says. They're in violation. And they probably know that. But they're just hoodwinking the general public because,
you want to take 2 minutes in closing there, Leonard, and then I'll go
yes,
to
sir,
break two, and then I'll take two.
I'll just go ahead and use that 2 minutes then for exactly this point.
Thank you.
Okay. I just want to go back to Section 18 of the Constitution of Belize, subsection 1 says, under the provisions for a period of public emergency, reads as follows. In this part 18, referring to, periods of public emergency means any period during which Belize is engaged in any war. I want them to prove and show me where is the war. I want them to
They
prove
cannot
to
do
the
that,
Governor
Leonard.
General and show the Governor General justifiably where is the war, why they need to have a public emergency established. B, there is in force a proclamation by the Governor General declaring that a state of public emergency exists. Stuart Leslie, as Deputy Governor General, cannot go and on behalf of the Governor General declare that there is a state of emergency just by saying so. Just saying so doesn't make it be so. But that's his game. That's what they are playing around with. C, I read C before. Get out my way. Somebody is trying to get my attention and they're covering up my stuff. C says there is in force a resolution of the National Assembly declaring that democratic institutions in Belize are threatened by subversion. Who are the subversive elements that are threatening democratic governance institutions, such as the police department, where they're going to shoot up Chester House, such as the hospital, government department, where they're going to block the window and threaten
The doctors,
hospital workers then
staff.
with their own lives if they never save that guy. Then the other damn thing where if they really want to stretch the emergency powers, they could try and do under false pretext and still appear to have been trying to do something worthy or good. But not the bogus stuff the one they constantly create there. So if they dump on the whole of South Side and whole of Roaring Creek and all the
Exactly.
areas that are where black people live and inconvenience all those people that have nothing to do with the elements that are creating the mayhem. They don't want to deal with the elements creating the mayhem, but they want to go and victimize civilians instead of do their own job. They all need to be arrested for taking salaries that they're not working for.
Not performing. That's
An
it.
SOE is not valid or justifiably declared if there's not a public emergency, and it has
Thank
to
you.
deal with catastrophic issues. That's the
Thank
end of
you.
my presentation, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Leonard. Thank you for that. Your
You're
closing
welcome,
there.
sir.
Gregory, you want to your closing, my brother? Take 2 minutes.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. What I would like to say to follow up on what my cousin said. First of all, SOE is unconstitutional if it was not signed and gazetted. That's the first step.
That's another point.
Period. That's the first step. So once that was not done, it is unconstitutional. That's one. Two, if there is no proclamation in it to specify what one must violate under the state of emergency, it is also unconstitutional. An
Amen to that.
example is
And, tho- and,
COVID-19.
and those
You
conditions
had
have to
to
be met
have
before they
laws
take it to the
that
Governor
you
General for
broke.
ascension. Because she
Exactly.
must know what is it that they're talking about. She can't give them one blank check for them to go and fill out and put in what they want. Like what Stuart Leslie did the last time.
And
Go
and
ahead,
what
Greg.
even number three, what even more make it unconstitutional, because under the SOE they are picking up these guys as gang members, and
Violating
there's
their
already
civil
a
rights,
substantive law for that, that they can be charged for being a member of a gang.
which is
So
illegal as well
it's inconsistent with the
with the Constitution.
Constitution.
Exactly.
Period. Back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Greg. Guys, it's always a pleasure to sit with you guys. To you want to say something,
Yes, sir. Before we
Leonard? Go
close
ahead.
off, um, these things that we discussed constitutionally and case law scenarios, we are doing what the Constitution Reform Commission or the People's Constitution
People Constitution Committee
Commission
Commission.
should be doing.
Yeah.
Educating the general public about bits and pieces of the Constitution as regards to what's in there so that they can know maybe what they want to take out, which is what the
Exactly.
assignment that was given to them was. But it was never intended originally for them to actually fulfill that assignment because that is not really what these jackals and hyenas are after. They want to
Thank you.
eviscerate the whole Constitution and come up with some other thing that would allow them to declare themselves sovereign citizen and having their one locally elected head of state. That is where they're going, the direction that they're trying to travel in. But they don't know, they're not slick enough, as slick as they
Yeah.
are. They're only slick to bamboozle we local people, but they're not slick enough to be able to get to that end objective without committing sedition against the existing head of state.
Which they continue to do. Thank you. Thank you, Leonard. I say, guys, it's always a pleasure to sit in your
Thank you,
company.
Mr.
And
Chairman.
thanks for your input. And I just hope that our viewers and listeners, both at home and abroad, who watch us, and thank you guys to sit with me here tonight on our 163rd edition of Belizean Affairs show. And I like to leave this with my people. Demand from your representative that better could be done. And that you deserve better. And while we were on the talking about the hurricane and the path of the hurricane that it was on, and give thanks and praise to the Almighty that it shifted and went up north, and that's supposed to be a wake up call for us again, and especially to our leaders that they need to do better, right, in terms of doing the right thing and equip the country with the necessities that they need. That these people, when they run out of Belize City, they have a hurricane shelter to go that has the proper utilities, have a proper bathroom, and so that people could be comfortable enough to ride out a hurricane, because it's not going to be the last threat that threaten our country. And like I say, I hope that they take heed and do the right thing with the resources that they have to work with instead of, putting it where it doesn't belong. And as for Mr. Nemo, do the right thing by people, and please don't play politics in the fair distribution of whatever assets you have to distribute to people in need. Give it to the people who needs it instead of playing politics. Okay, you need to stop that. That stuff had played out, right? We are tired of that. People complain all the time. I still have a brother that he was leveled from the last hurricane. Didn't get a nail because they play politics with him. Play politics because he's a UDP and this is a PUP government. Shouldn't happen, and this. And yet you have a year representative said that, oh yeah, she helped everybody, which is a damn lie. Right? I told you, I talked about this before. Why the word everybody? That should be strucken out because it's not true. It's not true. She didn't help everybody, and it had never happened in this country. Times that this disaster, UDP in government, only UDP affiliates is going to get help. Times that disaster and it's a PUP government, only a PUP people are going to get the help, and not all of them either, right? The rest goes to where it shouldn't go. Anyway, guys, yes, go ahead.
If the government was not mismanaging or malmanaging the country, they could have come up with the necessary funds to build those, at least one
That's exactly what I'm saying,
shelter
guys.
in each of those 31 divisions.
Yes.
And it wouldn't cost them
And
the $25 million that they have to give to Mr. Ashcroft every
yes.
year, in addition to the over $1 billion when they don't get.
And the thing too, guys, they got to stop lying to the poor people. The audacity of them to keep telling them they have a list of names, places that they should go. Stop telling these people that they should go to this place because it doesn't exist, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a crime for them to be doing that. They need to stop that, man. Right? It's not giving them bogus number to call. You call them, a damn phone ring all day, and you don't get somebody that answers. Somebody in need for help. You call that number, you're up shit creek, right? What I'm saying is that people are getting tired of that crap, right?
For the period when the hurricane season is on, okay, they should have these specific hurricane shelter,
exactly,
or community shelter.
But it's not,
whatever.
Leonard. What I'm trying to tell you, guys, it's not.
Staffed,
right?
They should have food and provisions available in there for each of these things. And at the end of the hurricane cycle,
you think they'll give any damn food at these shelters?
Wait.
Which they should have it. Right? They should have, like you said. Go ahead.
The government treasury should be able to have enough funds in there to take care of these basic needs. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
And at the end of the hurricane season, they can turn around and give away those products so that they don't expire or they don't get thrown away to other people, indigent people that are living in those same communities that could make use of those things. And then the next year, guys, for the budget, they plan again. That's part of good governance.
It's a damn shame, like I just said in my opening. If this damn guy could come and give away $175,000 worth of food down south, right, for this damn election that they have, this endorsement that they had today, right? Like you rightfully said, man, why the hell they can't have food in these places
that's only one
that people need? They give that shit away, and it's all about the people's money. It's not the people's PUP money. It's the people's money.
No, it
right?
Was today they had the...
Today, yes, I'm talking about today. 175,000.
Convention.
Right? And they broadly broadcast it. Right? They have no shame. Right?
And then tomorrow the people will have no food to eat.
It's not a PUP money. It's not a Dean Barrow money. It's not a Musa money. It's the people's money. Right? It's a damn shame. But who hold these damn people accountable, guys? Nobody, until we take their ass, somebody, decide to take them to court, right? And hold them accountable for the crimes they commit to people, this country, right? Just because poor people are so poor that cannot hold these suckers accountable, they do to us, then continue to do to us. What the hell, Rudy? We not got no money for carry the court. We are fighting all the way. As we go there, we go in our higher court. You don't got money for carry. So here, shit in their mouth, right?
They need to take these guys and put them on swing bridge.
Swing,
turn the bridge. And then
exactly.
Nobody can reach them.
So why you think they don't want a Belizean American along with them?
Flag them, but
right? That could come up and call them out for the crimes that they do. Think they want a man like me in the house, Leonard, that would call them out for the things that they do to my people? They try, right? All kind of shit they try to block me.
They will seek the what name from the house out of your man.
Where?
The chair of the house.
To
tell you where part of the thing you violate, they couldn't do with shine.
You see what I'm saying, you know? So these people, man, they continue to bamboozle poor people, man, and you know, this two-party system in this country, we need to get rid of it, right? You know, call me what you want to call me, and we want a new system in this country.
These guys
tired of these people to was decades now, from my grandfather days to make you know, and up to now, 2024, they're still doing the same damn shit to the people.
These guys are behaving like some bad picnic, right? And unless they get them both whipped.
You elect them today, and they promise you could see them anytime. You try to see them tomorrow. They close the damn door on you. You can't see them.
Mr. Chairman.
Right? Gregory, hear them, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Greg. Go ahead, Greg.
Mr. Chairman, would that
sorry about that, guy. Rantav, you know, I always be, you know, passionate about when it comes to
I would like to
We're
close on this, sir,
yes.
to the public and people.
We're live, yes, I am.
How are your human rights protected? The European Convention on Human Rights includes freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, right to life, liberty, equality, family life, right to a fair trial, freedom of religion, property, privacy, slavery and human trafficking, torture and ill treatment. These rights are best protected in our own countries. But when there are problems, the European Court of Human Rights provides a safety net. What happens if I think my human rights have been violated? If I have taken my case through the national courts, but I still don't think justice has been done, I can turn to the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg. If the court rules in my favour, I can get justice, possibly including compensation. Governments also have to make sure the same problem doesn't happen again. Over 17,000 judgments have been put into practice. This has changed people's lives in many different ways across the whole continent. All this for around 10 cents per person per year.
Thank you for educating me on my rights here, guys. Thank you for educating me here.
I play the tape to say to this government, if they don't recall what the American president did with the gay rights bill, if they continue to violate people's human rights, a lot of funds will be cut off when these people step in, because people don't know how these people deal.
Yeah.
They cut your funding off when it comes to that. With that said, Mr. Chairman, I would like to say good night.
One other point.
Go ahead.
Quickly, before we close. We have already pointed out to them on more than one occasion in the past that some of them could end up at the head.
Exactly.
They don't seem to believe that that's plausible.
No, they don't believe, Leonard. They don't believe. No, they don't believe. Exactly. That's why they continue to do to us, right? Yeah.
It's going to be too late.
True thing. Anyway, guys, thank you. It's always a pleasure to sit in your company, and look forward for Friday night, Leonard. Thank you.
Yes,
thank you, God willing. Good night.
I'm happy that they are look at different.
Make I tell you about our old